I'm currently 18 years old. I'm studying in high school and I also run a content agency that is doing around $10,000 per month right now. As someone who is still pretty much in the trenches, like I go to school every day, I sit in classes, and I also work 6 to 9 hours a day on my business, I think I have a pretty interesting perspective on the current school system. So if you're young, like I am, you're still in the education system and you're running your business on the side, or you're thinking about starting one so you can avoid the standard 9-to-5 path and live a life full of crazy experiences and freedom, then I think this video will be pretty valuable to you. So maybe you're in high school or in college, but you just hate the idea of getting a 9-to-5 job and going down the traditional path, getting a secure job, getting a mortgage, buying a house, etc, etc. And your goal is probably to build a business so you can live the life that you're actually dreaming about. That can be traveling the world, driving exotic cars, living amazing experiences, and just overall really have freedom in your life. Or you might already be running your business, working actively towards achieving that goal. In that case, I think this video will still be useful for you. So let's talk a bit about my situation. So I'm currently in the last year of high school. I will be finishing it in 2025, but I'm not a regular student. I'm a so-called private student, which means that I only have to go to school about 2 to 3 hours a day. Now, in my free time, I'm training as a competitive climber, and I'm also running my content agency that, as I said, is doing between $7,000 to $11,000 per month, more or less. So currently my days consist of waking up and working for around 3 hours in the morning, then going to school for about 2 to 3 hours. After school, I usually go training for about 3 hours, and after that, I come home and work for around 3 to 5 hours again. Now, throughout this whole process of working, scaling my business, and also going to school at the same time, I realized a couple of things that are deeply wrong with the current school system and are making it really hard for individuals like me or some other guys who have similar ambitions, want to build their business, want to build their dream life. These things are just making it really hard for us to do it. So the first one is that you're basically surrounded by mediocrity. So I'm talking about the teachers who are usually making very little money and many times are in a position where we just don't want to end up in. Now, apart from that, we are also surrounded by all the students who are partying and drinking every weekend. And of course, the other extreme of this is people who think that the only way to a successful life is to get the perfect score and get to the best university. And these people just spend all their time studying books and just studying boring shit that they won't ever use. And if you're someone like I am, who's just, scaling his business, wants to improve in all areas of his life, it can be hard to find people who are similar to him. Now, apart from that, school also takes a lot of time. This is something that most people don't even think about, but I think it's one of the scariest things. Most students usually spend 6 to 7 hours in school, and then the good students also spend 1 or 2 hours at home studying. That's basically 8 hours per day. So for the beginning of your life, you're basically spending 1/3 of all your time in school, which is pretty scary if you think about it. But that wouldn't be a problem if school was actually useful, but unfortunately it isn't. The third problem that I have with school is that it just teaches you useless stuff. I don't think you'll be surprised when I say that 95% of the things that we learn in school have absolutely zero utility, and we'll basically forget it after 1 or 2 months. Now, after scaling my agency to this point, I think I have a pretty good understanding of what you need if you want to run a business, work at a successful company, etc. So in my business right now, I'm doing marketing, sales, accounting, taxes, etc. So I have a pretty good understanding of what are the different skills that you need if you actually want to be useful for society. And the crazy thing is that from all these tasks that I just listed, I've never ever used any knowledge that I learned previously in school for doing any of these tasks. I literally learned all of them either by myself or looking online at other people. Obviously, apart from skills like reading or calculating, which I learned in school in 1st grade. And that leads me to my next point, which is online education. So this is really where I see things going in the next decade. When I started my business 2 years ago, I basically did it by just relying on the things that I was learning online. At first, obviously, I just consumed free content from YouTube, and that was enough for me to get started and start making a couple $100s per month. Then I started investing in courses, different mentorships, and with that, I was just scaling higher and higher. And this is just the exact thing that I've been doing for the last 2 years, and I truly think that this is the biggest reason I was able to scale to $10,000 per month and hopefully beyond that. So just think about it. You can basically find anything online that you want. Building an e-commerce business, starting an agency, learning how to play piano. You can learn all of these things online. You just have to find someone who's already done it and who will teach you how to do the same. This can obviously be with free content or a paid mentorship or course, but you get the point. This means that you can learn how to build a business from someone who's actually done it and not just from someone who is a random teacher at a university who's never actually built a business in his life. So if you don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer, there's literally no point in going to university because online education is just so much more effective. So does this mean that you should drop out right now? If you're already running a successful business and you're still going to school, then yeah, maybe it's a good idea to just drop out right now. But if you're just starting out with your business right now, you can 100% build it while still going to school. Sure, you might have to sacrifice a couple of things like party these activities, but you can definitely do it. If you think about it, you go to school for 8 hours a day, you sleep for 8 hours a day, and then you still have 8 hours in the day to do whatever you want. And that's actually more time than you need to start making a couple grand a month. And once you're making that amount, you can potentially think about dropping out of school. Now, lastly, I just want to tell you that it won't be easy. As I said, you will need to make sacrifices. So friends, parties, different experiences, and it will seem like that it's not worth it. And everyone else is just living their best life, while in all of your free time, you're just grinding away in your room in the dark. But this is just what it takes. And if you do it for a long enough time period, it's impossible to not see results. I had times when I was working like crazy for months straight and I didn't see any result. I was at the merge of giving up, but I didn't. And just after that, I hit my first 5K month. Then same thing for months, grinding without seeing any results. My income even went down in that period. And then boom, I just stayed consistent and suddenly I jumped to like $11,000 per month. And once you experience this and get used to the game, you just become unstoppable. So this is what I wanted to share with you real quick. I hope this video helps you out and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.